My lords, now that it has pleased Almighty God to call to his mercy my uncle...
Can't hear you.
I know that I'm young, and some would say my sex puts me at a disadvantage. But I know my duty, and I assure you, I am ready for the great responsibility that lies before me.
Give us a sense of how this project came together.
Well, we have worked with a company in the UK called Mammoth, and they brought us this project. And I have to tell you, we were so excited because we thought the approach that Daisy Goodwin, who's the writer and creator, we just loved the approach. And that was a question she was asking, which is, you know, what if an 18-year-old girl who had been sheltered her entire life suddenly became the Queen of England, the most powerful woman in the world? And this came to Daisy because she had really studied Victoria's diaries, and one day she was having a bit of a tiff with her 16-year-old daughter. And it dawned on her, oh my God, what if my daughter was now the Queen of England? And from there it took off.
It starts with a very, very inexperienced and unworldly young woman, and it ends with a married monarch giving birth to her first child. And through that process, we see her understanding of the world that she rules over and how it rules over her in many ways. Give us a sense about how you wanted to construct that.
All of these dastardly old men were trying to plot against her and prevent her from doing what she wanted and trying to control her and just thinking she's going to be this little puppet. The one relationship that sort of kept her sane, if you like, and kept her on track was just by historical luck. Lord Melbourne was around, and he understood her, and he got her, and he worked with her, and they developed this incredibly powerful relationship. He was her first love and first love affair, and not physically, but the first person she fell in love with. You've got to remember that Britain had been ruled for centuries by these terrible old guys. And some
of whom had gone mad.
Oh, yeah, apparently there was one who went mad.
Some of whom.
Some. And suddenly this very exciting thing happens. This beautiful young woman suddenly becomes queen. And everybody is looking for ways to manipulate her. And it turns out she's this very special, strong woman. And she finds this ally and forms this incredibly intense bond with Lord Melbourne, her prime minister, who's much older than her and has this terrible reputation. And in turn, she is also Melbourne's last love. And when he died, you know, Victoria burnt all of his letters. It's this very intense, formative relationship. So for me, coming in and setting up the show, we start on day one. She's 18 years old. She becomes queen. And from that moment on, she throws the shackles off and she starts pushing back on everybody who's trying to control her.
You've said that you feel that Victoria is the quintessential masterpiece program, and others have said this too. So I wanted to get a sense, what does that mean to you?
When we started reading the scripts for Victoria, we were so excited because we thought, here's the kind of show at least the masterpiece audience we know is going to love, because it's got the romance and it's got all the costumes and it's royalty. It's really the story of a woman in power. And so to make that kind of the central story of Victoria is very, I think, important for us at Masterpiece. I think our audience comes for that kind of story. It being about Jenna, who is only about 5'1". She is about as tiny as Victoria is. And to know that she came out of Doctor Who, and she is just a fabulous person, a terrific actress, and really had the fire and the spark and the feistiness, as Tom was describing, to really fight back. So that's one of the elements of this show that we really like. She really stands up for herself. She really fights back, and you know, that's a very important element.
Where does it go next?
The tensions of Victoria trying to be a queen while being a mother, trying to be a queen while being a wife, trying to be a queen, as Tom described, against all these forces that are working against her at a very difficult time in British Irish history with a lot of change. So there's a lot of drama still to come.